Peace to you, everyone. I want to give you guys a quick review on this copy of the 1832 Creek Census, Parsons Abbott Roll. Looks like James L. DeThot compiled it or whatever. I don't know. I acquired this on Amazon, finally, through a place called Heritage Books Incorporated. And it's very interesting. And it seems like a pretty faithful copy. Forgive my Muskogee Indian Scottish Charge in the background, or Southeastern Ceremonial Complex Scottish Charge. You know, I'm still working on it. I still got to fix some of the paint and cut the lines better. Anyhow, you can see the book here has, it's been taped together. It's been stapled. It's kind of like a home print type of book, it looks like. And that doesn't make it bad. I mean, it seems like it's a pretty faithful rendition. It's got, like, you know, letters from James. Oh, okay, yeah, this is like a 1995. This guy compiled. I got to read all this. But in any case, so Parsons and Abbott both took portions. I think one took the upper and one took the lower Creek towns. Now, because this will tell you what it is here, names the principal chiefs, number of males, females, number of slaves total. So there's a name of the principal. Why they call them principal chiefs of each town makes no sense. I kind of went over that last time I mentioned the Parsons Abbott Roll some months back. But basically, yeah, I mean, if you don't read that part, and even if you read that, you may not really necessarily, you may just, you know, you might not understand what these numbers are. Obviously, the first number next to the name is in sequence, you know, as they're written down on the original roll. Then the numbers after the name denote, okay, that 03, that's how many males. That 04, females. That 04 is how many slaves are owned. Doesn't say male or female, doesn't, you know, specify that. 11 becomes the total number of individuals in the household of Takahachimiko. Okay. This is a pretty, and it's cool about this, there's also an index. And now it mentions, like, let's see, actually, let me see here. There's a name I was going to do. I did an accidental delete on my last take on this. So yeah, so it has, like, you know, Chocolate Harjo, page 79. Keep in mind that this is page 75 for the book that we're looking at. You go in here on page 40, well, you got page 100. When you look at older copies, when you look at reprints of older books, you're going to find that this will happen. They'll say, oh yeah, this is page so-and-so, and that's page such and such. And they'll do that a lot. I noticed that with fencing texts that are purchased. So yeah, it's kind of cool. But let me see here. My goal was to go through all these names. Let me just do this real fast without hopefully deleting this, because I want to just kind of give you guys an example of what I'm actually trying to do. Well, until you get to right about here. And then, yeah, there's like two more names after this. So I want to go through all this, and I want to get a pretty good idea of how many actual Muskogee males were there, how many Muskogee females were there, how many slaves were actually here. Because this roll being 1832, it's this is actually pre-Trail of Tears. So it's definitely of interest to me, and it interests anyone really trying to understand you know, our history and how, for example, the freedmen fit into that. How many slaves were actually on the Trail of Tears? So when people say, oh no, my people were on the Trail of Tears just like anybody else, were they? That's what I want to find out. I want to find out who was actually on the old settlers trail of 1828, 1829, whichever it was. And to know just like how many of the Muskogee slaves were actually on that migration, how many were on the Trail of Tears, how many were part of the self-migrations, et cetera, et cetera. Now, this is a huge undertaking, and I'll have to do all this according to individual towns, and I already started doing it before, but I just haven't had the time. And doing this on my phone, when my phone is my only device, I have no computer, it's hard to really do this the way I'd like to. Now I've actually got a paper copy, and I can pull out my notepad, say, okay, there's how many males, females, say, boom, 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 boom. That takes care of Flakachka and Okfuskee towns, right? And or the one that's on the waters of Tallapoosa, right? And because I really want to get an idea, like a real legitimate idea of like, because I love history. Whatever the results are, I want to know what the history is, and I like to be able to discuss this with the powers that be, so to speak, especially the powers that be that are currently attacking Muskogee Nation regarding the issue of citizenship. And it is an attack. It is actually an attack. It's not just a, no, we feel like we're Muskogee people too. They actually want to dissolve the Creek Nation. Like, this is actually part of what they want to do if they don't get everything their way. And that's really of great concern to me, and it should be a great concern to anybody else in the nation. So, and the Muskogee Nation is doing really good right now under Principal Chief David Hill. I think he's doing a great job, and I like Mr. Good Voice, and I'll probably vote for him next time. But I had to give my vote to Principal Chief David Hill. I want to give him a second term. I want him to, finish what he's working on, and I think he's doing a good job. So at least it appears that way, and he seems like a genuine nice guy. I appreciate what he's doing for the nation. And I appreciate him standing up for, our Constitution. So, and anyways, not to get too political with this video, but part of my reasons for doing this are in fact political. Part of my reason for buying this is political, but it's also family history. And if anybody's interested that I know that, wants to know more about this time period and are interested in tracing heritage, I might actually have a better way of helping them out at this point. I mean, Free Pages at RootsWeb has all this information. The problem is I don't want to sit there on my phone with a tiny screen going through every single name, looking this stuff up. I want to be able to have a paper copy bigger, and that's the thing. I like having hard copies of very important texts, and this is an extremely important text when it comes to Muskogee Nation. So, like, if you don't have ancestors on this roll, you're pretty much not Creek. I hate to say that, but it's pretty much more or less true. So, anyhow. Apologies, that was the garage door. Anyhow, let me know what y'all think. If you have any questions about this roll, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. And yeah, I'm gonna, if time permits, I'm gonna try to tackle some of this a little piece by piece. So appreciate y'all for watching, and Mado.